Dar Shahrat Afad Ast. Second half of the saying from Shah Naqshband. Our way is association to come together under the eyes of the Shaykh, and blessing comes on the group, speaker and listeners. And he warned us, Dar Shahrat Afad Ast, in Persian language. Shahrat is what fame. In fame, there is ast, pestilence. Something that destroys your good deeds like the locusts destroy the crops. Warning us, fame means you're doing something to be big for people. You're not doing it for Allah, to show off or to get something, or what you do other, not for Allah, it has the opposite effect. You think you're doing good deeds, it destroys your good deeds, eats them. So we're asking Allah, we like to say, make us to be sincere. Sincere is difficult. Allah say, Ittaqullah wa kunu ma'a sadiqin. Sadaqallah. Fear Allah and be with true ones. We're asking to be with Mawlana Shaykh and Awliya. They're sadiqin, sincere. If you can't be a sincere one, at least try to be with them, accompany them. If you can't accompany through in person, through your heart. So we're intending that suhba to be an accompanying of them through our hearts, all together. And awliya, they have a kind of a Wi-Fi, or more than a Wi-Fi. They're able to send haqiqatul faid. What's faid? Outpourings, fountains, streams, broadcastings, heavenly broadcastings, heavenly inspirations, heavenly power. Prophet ﷺ is reported to have said that when someone asked him about the wahi, about the revelation, how it was when it came to him, he said, sometimes it's like the ringing of a bell, as if you're inside a huge bell. So that's the hardest one on him. So how you take that and translate it into ayats and verses and words, so it means something else. I've been reading in the last couple of weeks. They're doing in Islam now what they did in Christianity and Judaism in the last 100 years or 150 years. Textual criticism, where they look at the texts of the Quran and the Hadith, like they look at the Bible and the Old Testament and the Talmud and the Gospels, and try to ascertain the authenticity of this verse or that verse or this Hadith or this Bible verse. When religion comes through texts, it brings a problem with it. To understand the text, to be able to know what was that. If the original was Prophet saying like a bell, how it came to be words, and then how the words came down to us today, how they're understood, what's the gap, the difference. The difference is awliya that are carrying the living secret of Prophet ﷺ. They're carrying the spirit the message. What gave it life? That secret passes from their hearts to their followers, and can give knowledge, can give meanings, can give a help, a boost to keep the murid or the murida going. Himma, imam, different kinds of himma, plural of himma, imam, different kinds of support that everybody needs. Sometimes you need a good talking to. Sometimes you need a direction. Sometimes you need a boost, something to pull you or move you. And Prophet ﷺ, he was al-Mumidul Imam, according to Ibn Arabi, the one who spread all the different kinds, the fountain of Imam. And awliya that are inheriting from Prophet ﷺ, they're doing for the ummah that work to support. Otherwise it's very difficult. If you get caught in texts, what Mawlana Shaykh used to say, ilmul haruf, ilmul dhawq, the knowledge of pages, sheets, or the knowledge of tasting. Knowledge of dhawq, of tasting, is more than the knowledge of texts. Allahumma salli wa sallam ala Sayyidina Muhammad, Sayyid al-awwalin wal akhirin. They were finding whole worlds of meaning even in a couple of words, even in one word or two words. There are words in the Quran that were puzzling even for ulama since the beginning. I gave an example, one of them, Kunu Rabbaniyin, says Holy Quran, be Rabbaniyin. What's Rabbaniyin? We might have a meaning nowadays, 1500 years later, that's become traditional or habitual, to be lordly or to be with Allah, to be. They asked to one wali, say Abdul Haqq, Allah bless him, he's buried in Fez, his maqam in Fez, Morocco. His murid, his disciple, was alim. He busied himself with understanding texts all his life, Quran and Hadith and commentary, tafsir and other things. And he asked his Shaykh about Rabbaniyin. Allah said, be Rabbaniyin. Mawlana Shaykh said, from now on be Rabbaniyin. One day he said, no more Naqshbandi, no more Sufism, no more nothing. Only be Rabbaniyin. You can't say to Mawlana Shaykh, what do you mean by that? When he says it, that's it. But that alim asked to his Shaykh, what's Rabbaniyin? And his Shaykh was not a scholar. Abdul Haqq al-Abbasim was Ummi. He didn't, he could read Quran, but he wasn't studying texts. And his murid was always amazed. He'd ask him about this hadith, or this, and he'd give verses that the ulama couldn't bring. Where it's coming from. And he said, what's Rabbaniyin? And Sidi Abdul Aziz, he said, that it's a word from ancient language of Sayyidina Adam. It's a word, awliya use it, and angels use it, prophets used it, but nowadays nobody uses it. From a language no one speaks anymore. They say Syriac or an ancient language. Quran says mankind was on one, human beings were on one language before a command went out from Allah, and they have the Tower of Babel in traditional literature. In the time of Babylon, Nimrod, they built a huge tower to reach to heavens. And Allah broke them for their arrogance, and human beings, instead of all speaking the same language, divided into so many different tongues, no one can understand the other one what he's trying to say. So it's from that ancient language. Every letter is a whole world of meanings just by itself. He said it, Rabba, Ni, and Yin. It's three words. Rabba, Ni. Not from Arabic originally. And it meant the one who takes from his Lord without studying, without reading. As Sayyidina Khidr alayhi salam, وَجَلَ عَبْدًا مِنْ إِبَادَنَا آتَيْنَهُ رَحْمَةً وَجَعَلْهُ مِنْ لَدُنْكَ عِلْمًا. Sayyidina Musa, he found someone, he had Torah already, but he found someone that Allah gave him from himself knowledge and wisdom. There are people, according to our beliefs, according to tradition, that are carrying that kind of light, that they're people of meanings. Sometimes those meanings can't be expressed in words also. It is. It is. To meet one of those awliya, or simply in a presence. You can't describe it. You can't. There's hundreds of thousands of pictures of Maulana Shaykh. It doesn't give that same presence. It was a presence. To enter into that presence, you know you're in it. You become. And we're after that, to get our religion like that, pure and clean. Text, you can play with the text. We're asking through these softbots to connect our hearts with the Rabbi Habli Istidadan Kamilan li Kabuli Faydika Akdas. Sheikh Muhyiddin used to pray, Allah bless him. Rabbi Habli, bestow on us, bestow on me, Istidad, the perfect preparation, Istidad and Kamil from Kamal, complete, the perfect preparation to be able to receive your Faydika Akdas, your holy outpourings. Make me able to receive that. And how we can do that, we try to follow as best we can what our Shaykh taught us, what he showed us, what the Shaykh says, what the Shaykh showed, says Shaykh Hashem. Allah bless him. Raise him higher. He showed a way of being to accompany him through the day and the night, through the different months of the year, through Ramadan and Rabiul Awal and Muharram, how he was, what kind of presence he was in, how he was at the time of prayer, how he was at the time of zikr, how he was in the night, how he was in the day, how he was eating, how he was sitting with people. training and dressing and preparing his murids to be able to carry that holy outpouring. One day or one night, we hope it should open. Try to be in his presence. If you can be physically with him, okay, but now it's difficult. You have to be with through your heart. And time by time, that soft spot of the heart has the effect to prepare your heart to receive heavenly openings. Sometime you're going to be aware of something you weren't aware of before. It's not only something can be explained. I was reading all these books from the scholars' criticism of the text, and it makes you to be crazy, it makes you to lose your faith finally. This one said this verse couldn't have come here, this hadith couldn't be there, Mecca couldn't have been like that, it couldn't be like that, couldn't be like that. What you realize it was nothing finally. So you have to look for the living presence. We're asking to connect our hearts with that living presence. May Allah grant us. I don't know what to say more than that. They don't teach that to people nowadays. If a person wants to study Islam, they don't say to Itakallah wa kuna ma'a sadiqeen. At least with the idea, they might say, think it means to be with somebody who memorized Quran, then you can memorize it also. It doesn't mean that. It means to acquire that presence. That's what's needed. May Allah grant to all of you openings through your hearts to carry that. He used to say, all my murids and muridas are like tiny broadcasters. They put, I don't know if anybody went by sea anywhere, outside the heart. You go here, you're into the Texas Ship Canal, you see out near the pier, in the water, a buoy with a light blinking, and it's giving a radio signal also to warn the ships, danger, shoreline is near, the channel is here. All the murids and muridas are broadcasting a signal that all people were created by a creator, and you're going to finish this life and return to him. Try to make yourself ready for that meeting. Try to make yourself ready by every means that prophets brought and holy people brought. Try to prepare yourself. Don't be so greedy for dunya, like a fish with its mouth open trying to swallow the whole ocean. You can't. You take what you... Some few people rise to the top, and what happens to them also? They're gone. We have monuments, we have... Where are they now? Where are they now? Prepare yourself for that. Shaykh Hashem said, Allah bless him, grants him full power, and long life, happy day. To look to us. He said, think, it's a meditation, you can do it. Everywhere you are. It doesn't need to sit in the lotus position with your hands like that and receive through your receptors and to light a candle and to visualize. You can do it everywhere. You can do it driving, you can do it shopping, you can do it eating, you can do it everywhere. Think, I'm alone in my Lord's presence. And He's showing me what He wants to show me. He says, think that. Then ask yourself, oh my Lord, did I make myself all right with you? Then He makes everything all right with you. If we forgot Him, if we made not everything all right with Him, He sends all kinds of problems. Nothing is all right with us. Because everything is only what He shows us. May Allah forgive us. May Allah forgive us. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina. Raise everyone up higher and higher. Make us to taste heavenly tastings, heavenly vision, heavenly hearing. وَتَرَى الْمَلَائِكَةَ حَافِينَ مِنْ حَوْلِ الْعَرْشِ يُسَبِّحُونَ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّهِمْ. He used to say, if you could hear that heavenly singing, it's the angels. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina. But we're stuck with dunya. We're stuck with the affairs of dunya. More and more with these instruments we have now, more and more, 24 hours. If it was 30 hours, we'd be 30 hours. If 60 hours in a day, we'd be 60 hours. When you wake up, what's the first thing you do? I slept. I don't know. What did I miss? Nothing. So many channels. This one said this one said that. That's their job. They have to say this, otherwise they get paid. Who cares what they said? Hundreds of people are typing and putting. You follow it, you get crazy. Try to reach to a heavenly channel. That's, I think, the meaning for that. Try to reach a heavenly channel, not only these dunya channels. He used to say, like a stage play or a puppet show. People are sitting in the audience. You saw a puppet show? Like that. They're sitting watching. The curtain opens. One person comes out. One puppet. He looks around. I am the greatest one. And then small ones go, yes, you are the greatest. Then another one comes. Oh, I am the greatest one. They begin to fight. Lightning comes. Everything destroyed. Curtain closed. And you're, what happened? Curtain opens, it's empty again, and starts, so a new one comes. I am the greatest. Oh, I am the greatest. And the chapter repeats. No benefit. Meanwhile, while you're watching it, you're going to pass away. What you took from it. What you say. Oh my Lord, I was participating in a puppet show. Oh, that's what I created you for? وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِ. Is that necessary to memorize everything? Necessary to take one thing and reach? وَمِنْ اللَّهَ التَّوْفِيقِ بِحُرْمَةِ الْحَبِيبِ بِحُرْمَةِ الْفَاتِحِ. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد صلاة تشفينا وصلي وسلم سلام يضوينا وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم صلوات of healing. Send His blessings and shifa. We have a dua of shifa also. Did I send you that?
Yep.
We'll read it after. after the zikr, inshallah. It was written by one Shaykh, he passed away. The same day, Yasser found the dua. You have it? It's the one you made a PDF of. I sent you when you made a PDF.
Yeah, the one starting with Kafa Yawin.
Yeah, you have it?
Yeah.
Read, Bismillah. Imam Bilal will read the dua of Shifa.
Bismillah, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كافا يا عين صاد. ذكر رحمة ربك عبده زكريا. اللهم كما رحمت عبدك زكريا بما رحمته فارحمني واشفقني وعافني بالسر فالله خير حافظ وأرحم الراحمين. وحفظناها من كل شيطان رجيم وحفظناها من كل شيطان مارد. إن كل نفس لما عليها حافظ بل هو قرآن مجيد في لوح محفوظ. إنا نحن نزلنا الذكر وإنا له لحافظون. تنزل من القرآن ما هو شفاء ورحمة للمؤمنين وإذا مرضت فهو يشفين. قل هو للذين آمنوا هدى وشفاء. يا أيها الناس قد جاءتكم موعظة من ربكم وشفاء لما في الصدور. فيه شفاء للناس ويشفي صدور قوم مؤمنين. إن ولي الله الذي نزل الكتاب وهو يتولى الصالحين.
أنت ولا قل حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. فاتحة. آمين. في كل حاجات تقتضي أدركني يا رسول قد خلتي أدركني يا رسول. We can't reach to you, reach to us. Reach to us. We can't know how many things happened between the time of your holy life on earth and now. We can't untie it. Libraries can't untie it and untangle it. Reach to us. Ya Gharat Allah. Why we're saying Ya Gharat Allah? Ya Gharat Allah, like the eagle coming from the highest to the lowest, rescuing. Directly, Fatiha. أشهد أن لا إله